I've taken these glasses from Australia all the way to Hong Kong in China, and I'm enjoying it here, but I'm really struggling with them because, for one thing, now I understand that these are the old version. These are the Virture Pro XRs, but the biggest issue that I'm having with them at the moment is that they're not incredibly clear around the edges. Now, they do have myopia adjustments here up at the top. What I'm finding is that these myopia adjustments, or rather my IPD, which is around 68, sits just outside of the recommended IPD, the max IPD that these essentially can go out to. And because of that, I have lots of fringing and blurriness around the corners of the images when I'm working on things. And I find that to be a real problem for me because it actually gives me headaches when I'm working for long periods of time. Now, I use this at the airport, I've used this out and around, and it's really straightforward. One of the things that I do love about these glasses, let's start with the pros and then we go to the cons. So the pros for these glasses are that they're really straightforward. One cable, super strong magnet straight into the back, and then one cable straight into the side of the MacBook Pro. Now that I've used these glasses extensively, already straight away, I've got access to everything that I need to have access to. I can see what I can see. And with this button right here on the left-hand side, I can go from clear to shaded or shaded to clear. Really easy, quite straightforward to do, which means that I can almost immerse myself in my work when I need to. And when I want to enjoy the views, I just sort of toggle this and enjoy the views whilst I work. And I can still see my work. The text is quite legible. That's in the first mode that you use these glasses in. The other thing is it comes with a Spacewalker app. So that's an application that you can download on iOS, Android, as well as iOS and Android, really, only those two platforms. The Spacewalker app works kinda sorta well. Not incredibly well, just kinda sorta well. It allows you to then have 3 screens and do a number of other things with the glasses that you typically wouldn't just be able to do natively on the glasses. So then with the Spacewalker app connected to your Android phone, you can also use these glasses. Then they have their own OS of sorts. So you can actually load YouTube, different tabs and other things like that and have different screens, which is really cool. Now let's jump into the cons. The Spacewalker app, the screen drifts all the time and it causes me a lot of nausea and makes me feel very sick and upset to the stomach. Maybe that's also to do with the fact that the myopia IPD adjustments are not refined for someone like me and my eyesight. Maybe I've got just really big eyes or a big head. I don't think I do, but the other thing that is a con for these glasses is if you don't get your adjustments perfect, you will have issues viewing. So what I do for myself is I actually adjust these glasses to be about, I'm talking about the myopia adjustment. So the focus. If I'm essentially looking at my laptop, I can just shift my focus a little bit and look at the screen that's in front of me. So the screen is actually quite large. I would agree that yes, I think it's a 135-inch screen that I'm seeing in front of me at about a 3-meter distance. I wouldn't listen to people that compare this screen to being the size of a computer monitor, because obviously if a computer monitor is right in front of you, about a meter away or half a meter away, it's going to look about the same size, but you're not going based on those dimensions when you're looking at this screen. The other thing that is a bit of a con when it comes to these is, coming back to the Spacewalker app, I do use the connection to the computer, the single USB-C connection to the computer through into the Spacewalker app. Now, there's no way to stick the screens where they need to be. Now, I do understand that the new Luma Pro versions of these and the Ultras and the Beast have the neckband that you can also have, which unlocks, I think it's called 6D freedom of movement, something along those lines. So I do have a friend who's going to be actually lending me his pair that just arrived, since they're quite new. It's very difficult to get them right now. So I decided to purchase these to give them a review. But they drift a lot. So then you have to use the command keys, option, control, option, command, and R to recenter, and you have to look where you're recentering. But then it drifts quite a lot, which is a big issue for me because I like a workflow that I can be consistent with and not a workflow that I have to fix all the time. So those are some of the other issues that I have. Overall, I think these glasses have helped me a lot in terms of privacy. So one of the things that I do is payroll for my team members when I'm out and about. Right now I am in Hong Kong, China. But if I'm on a plane or if I'm at an airport or I'm traveling, I still want to be able to do payroll wherever I am. And these glasses help me to do that, because as long as I don't jump into the Spacewalker app, I can have a second display that doesn't cause me too many issues. Now, the display does follow and track along with my head, and I'll do my best to try to illustrate that with the camera. But the biggest issue that I see is that the glasses themselves, although they're bright, in peak brightness, I don't have to dim the screen. I can still see my surroundings, see everything. But the biggest issue that I have is, again, nausea. So I don't know if that's just a me thing, and I can see, as long as I relax my eyes, I can see the entirety of the display, but it is blurry towards the bottom and not so blurry towards the top. And if I adjust this and pull it down a little bit, that does get better. So, but then now I'm having trouble breathing. So I have to sort of like push it down on my nose bridge here, like that, and that does improve things. It's still blurry. Maybe on the Luma Pros that have the adjustable articulating frames, that might change something. That might be a little bit different. I don't know just yet. But from what I hear, that could be a huge difference. Another thing that I'm really enjoying about these as well, which I know this is sort of like back and forth between the video. I'm trying to give the best give and takes, and then I'll give my final conclusion at the end. Now, another thing that I really enjoy about this is the quality. A lot of people akin this to being 4K-like. I wouldn't say that it is 4K-like at all, but I would say that it is really high quality and quite beautiful. I would say my Oculus Quest 3 is very close to this. It's not exactly this. I would say that this is very on par with the Apple Vision Pro. Very on par. Quite a beautiful display, very bright. Now, a lot of people worry sometimes about how bright these could be in comparison to the Luma. Honestly, I'll tell you, have no issues. It's incredibly bright out here today, and I have no issues, even in transparency mode, looking at this display. And if I really want to immerse myself, like I said before, I can just jump straight into immersion by pressing the button right here, which toggles it. And a number of other things that you can do as well. The audio straight from your MacBook goes into these frames here and straight into your ears, and it's actually quite loud. And if you actually cup right below the ear here, you can actually hear it a lot more clearly, which is beautiful. Here's my verdict. I think that these glasses have a place in the future. They really do. They've improved drastically. I never got the first iteration, and there are other manufacturers out there who have been doing this before Virture did. But I really think that they've packaged something really great here. I can see the direction that this is going, and I'm really excited for the future of these glasses, that everything that they'll actually be able to unlock. Because if we look at the Luma Pros, they come now with hand tracking as well as cameras in the frames, which are used to track hands as well as do depth mapping and so on and so forth, which is something that's really impressive that I haven't really seen anywhere else. It's really cool. Long story short, for the price that these glasses are sold at, I paid close to around 600 Australian dollars for this pair. I honestly don't think that I'll be keeping this pair. Rather think I'd like to try the larger version, maybe of the Luma Pros. I'm not sure which version I'll actually get in the end, but this version for me, it's lacking in some areas. It's very good, very close to being absolutely phenomenal, but it is really lacking. I'm not the type of person who will use the neckband, so I wouldn't be going for that because that's an additional $600-700. I think close to $8 probably right now, depending on where you get it. If you get all the recommended accessories for this product, you'd be looking at a keyboard, the little wireless keyboard that folds out. You'd be looking at the neckband. You'd be looking at the glasses themselves. You'd be setting yourself back close to around 1,800 Australian dollars, maybe 1,900, which if you add another 2,000 onto that, you can get the Apple Vision Pro, although that is quite cumbersome to lug around. That's one of the reasons why I didn't bring an Apple Vision Pro or a Meta Quest 3 onto this trip. I really also wanted to force myself to use these glasses to see how I can really benefit from them and how I can enjoy them. That's it for me, guys. That's all that I actually have to say about these glasses. I think that they would really benefit somebody out there. The biggest thing for me is I really enjoy them for privacy purposes. If I'm doing payroll, if I'm doing sensitive things that I need these glasses to be able to operate with, it really helps me in that regard. So, catch you in the next one.